Hello guys, so I tell like it is, already released my prediction for the 2017-2018 Champions League. Bayern Munich, if you want to check out the description. But this video is going to be about the winner of the 64th Champions League. I will guarantee Juventus to win this Champions League final on June the 3rd of 2017. A prediction I've made 14 months in advance. I've done all the work on that you can check in my description tab. But yes, Juventus is going to win another Champions League with the Golden Boy, Paulo Dybala. Gianluigi Buffon may still be playing in 2019. There's a possibility that it may be his last season in 2019. He may play out one more season of club football after the 2018 World Cup. Now, the 2019 Champions League is going to be the 64th season of the Champions League. This 64 is super significant for Juventus, this 64th Champions League, because in Gematria, Juventus wins the 2019 Champions League final, has 64 coding. Juventus Football Club equals 64. The great goalkeeper, the World Cup winning goalkeeper, the Champions League winner after this Saturday, Gianluigi Buffon equals 64. The coach of Juventus, Massimiliano Allegri in Gematria equals 64. Fourth Champions League title equals 64. And once I'm right about Juventus winning the Champions League this Saturday on June the 3rd against Real Madrid, Juventus would have 3 Champions League titles, putting them at 3 and 6. Giorgio Chiellini, number 3, equals 107. Cardiff, Wales in Gematria equals 107 and 53. Gianluigi equals 53. If you wanted a little preview for this Champions League final happening this week, which Juventus is going to win, like I said. Now the question is where is the final going to be played at in 2019? The venue is going to be announced sometime in the fall of 2017. There's two choices between Baku and Wanda Metropolitano of Madrid. And yes, this Champions League final in 2019 is going to be held at Madrid. And here's why it's going to be held at Madrid. City of Madrid in Spanish means Ciudad de Madrid. Ciudad de Madrid in Gematria equals 64. And once again, this is all the Zionist gang that rigs sports by the numbers. Israel, Zion, Synagogue of Satan equals 64. It is the Freemasons, the Zionists, and the Jesuits that rig sports. Also, Synagogue of Satan, 4th Champions League title. Juventus FC wins the 2018-19 Champions League, also equals 190. Juventus is called the Bianconeri, which is a black and white. Bianconeri in Gematria equals 90 as well. 90 coding, interesting enough. Lines up with 4th Champions League title in the 64th Champions League. Paulo Dybala is the young phenom striker for Juventus, Mr. Paulo Dybala. 23 years old. He's going to be 25 years old in 2019. His birthday is on November the 15th. Paulo Dybala's birthday, November 15th of the year that they win this Champions League final, equals 64, interesting enough, in the year of the 64th Champions League. A key hint that Juventus is going to win the Champions League final. Paulo Dybala is the main tribute. Paulo Dybala equals 38. He's going to win this Champions League that starts in the year 2018. Adds up to 38 as well for Mr. Dybala. His full name is Paulo Bruno Ezequiel Dybala. Paulo Bruno Ezequiel Dybala, middle initials in Gematria equals 45. Dybala in Gematria equals 45. And when Paulo Dybala, number 21, ends Juventus' 21-year Champions League drought, and he wins another Champions League final 2 years from now, he's going to be the new golden boy of world football, Mr. Paulo Dybala. Golden boy in gematria equals 45. The 2019 UEFA Champions League final also has 45 coding contained in it. Recall that as well, Buffon in gematria equals 64. His birthday is January the 28th. Gianluigi Buffon, the great goalkeeper. Gianluigi Buffon's birthday, numerology for 2019 equals 68. And this is really, really interesting because scrolling up to the top, championship in gematria equals 68. Gianluigi Buffon's birthday numerology for 2019 equals 68. Now, 2019 Champions League final winner in gematria equals 197. What is significant about 197, you may ask? Well, Juventus won the 30th Champions League. They won the 41st Champions League. Recall that Buffon is going to be 41 years old in 2019. Buffon wins his second Champions League title. Juventus had 2 Champions League titles before he became their goalkeeper. They're going to win the 62nd Champions League this Saturday. They would also win the 64th Champions League. All of this adds up to 197 as well. Now, the day of the Champions League final, as you see, is going to be on June the 1st of 2019. June the 1st of 2019, when you add it together, equals 46. Now, what is going to be significant about 46? Well, 46 is a Jesuit number. Turin is located within Italy. The Vatican, the headquarters of the Catholic Church, is located within Italy. Italy is a Catholic country. Vatican City in gematria equals 46 and 127, as well as the phrase Gigi Buffon wins the Champions League again, interesting enough, equals 127. There's just maybe a cue that Buffon is going to be the main tribute. Now, remembering the Dybala phrases, Dybala equals 45, Golden Boy equals 45. The amount of time between Buffon's birthday and the Champions League final is also a time span of 4 months and 5 days. A direct tribute to Paulo Dybala for Mr. Gianluigi Buffon himself. Now, recall that Paulo Dybala's birthday is on November the 15th. November the 15th, in other words, also has 115, coding Mr. Dybala's birthday. The 2019 Champions League final equals 115. And notice that Juventus wears Freemasonic black and white stripes. The Freemasons are all about law and order, black and white. Law and order in gematria as well equals 115. This is really significant about his birthday. Going back to the Jesuit tribute, Vatican City, 46 state numerology of the final, 46. Juventus enters this Champions League final with 3 Champions League titles and 6 runner-ups. Catholics in gematria equals 36. Vatican City equals 4 and 6. Key numbers. Catholic in gematria up above equals 35. A key player for Juventus, Giorgio Chiellini, number 3, got extended by the Bianconeri. Number 3, Juventus wins their 3rd Champions League title thanks to him. Same gematria as the site of this year's Champions League final, Cardiff, Wales, but he is going to be 2 years from now. Well, actually, 2018, he's going to be 34 years old, but his 35th birthday in 2019 is going to be really significant. Giorgio Chiellini is Catholic himself, a Jesuit tribute with Giorgio Chiellini. The amount of time between the day of the Champions League final and his birthday on August the 14th is going to be really significant, a time span of 74 days. The God number in gematria, Jesus equals 74, Messiah equals 74, Masonic and occult in gematria as well equals 74. Giorgio Chiellini, the longtime Juventus defender, may still be playing a couple years from now potentially. Mr. Gonzalo Higuain, born on December the 10th of 1987. Can Gonzalo Higuain put together a really great legacy? He would be 31 years old 2 years from now. Championship in Gematria equals 131. In numerology, Mr. Gonzalo Higuain, born in the year 87, Higuain would win the Champions League after the World Cup held at Russia. Russia and Gematria equals 87. This is what I see with Gonzalo Higuain. The amount of time between his birthday and the Champions League final, 174 days. There's the God number again contained in it. The number 74. Now Dybala's birthday, let's see what is the time span between the day of the Champions League final and his birthday in 2019, Mr. Paulo Dybala. If you include the end date, you have to notice that it has 168 days. Championship equals 68 once again, 24 weeks. Juventus in Gematria equals 24. Now let's do it the reverse. November the 15th of the year 2018, during that Champions League campaign. Okay, it's June the 1st. June the 1st and his birthday in 2018. 198 days, the number 119 is 198 significant. I want to mention why it's significant, but when you include the end date, notice that it's 6 months, 18 days, a lot like championship. So Paulo Dybala's birthday is somewhat significant as well. One of the top defenders in the world too, Leonardo Bonucci. He was born on May the 1st, exactly the month before the Champions League final of 2019. Adds up to 45. Paulo Dybala's number, Paulo Dybala's gematria, I should say. Interesting number, 45 for Paulo Dybala and the Bianconeri for this Champions League final. Massimiliano Allegri's birthday, August the 11th, is also going to be significant. August the 11th of the year 2018 adds up to 57. This is a championship number in numerology. 57 equals 131. Championship in gematria equals 131. Now, Gianluigi Buffon's last match in 2019, if it does happen, and what would happen during that time? Well, it would end an era for Juventus of Champions League dominance. They lost the 60th Champions League final against Barcelona. They win the 62nd Champions League final. They'd win the 64th Champions League final. All of this adds up to 186. Gianluigi Buffon's last match equals 86. Gianluigi Buffon's last match with Juventus has 46 coding. Once again, the date numerology, the Champions League final equals 46. So once again, the main tribute is Paulo Dybala. Gianluigi Buffon is going to be another key tribute. I expect the city of Madrid to be hosting the final. Also, United Star of David Master Plan. The last time a final was held in Madrid was in the 55th Champions League final, and we're talking about the 64th Champions League final too. All this adds up to 119. The last time Juventus won the Champions League final was in their 119th season this year when they win the Champions League this Saturday against Real Madrid. So I expect Paulo Dybala to carry on a Golden Boy script and to allow the Bianconeri to pile up some Champions League titles in their trophy case. But the bad luck for Juventus is going to end over the next couple of years.